Hello. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Is this okay? Can you hear me? My second fan is not working. I'm trying to fix it. It's got all sorts of schmutz on it, but that's not that. Just leave it like that. It's so hot. Hello, Kinsey. Hello, Dee Dee. Hello, Claire. Joy. Steve. Hello, everybody. 16 people so far. Hello there, Jim Johnson. That's such a proper British name or American name. Hobnob is in the house. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Let me fix this here. Does that look all right? This shirt's horrible, I think. But it's so hot. It's 80 degrees or 90. I think it's 90 degrees. What is it? It's 90 degrees. It's not even 80 degrees. It's 90. It's 32 degrees here in Nunhead, up on top of the hill. Hello, Kerry. How are you? Kerry Mack. So, thanks for coming. Did you see me last night? I was a big star last night. Was I a big star? I don't know if I was a big star. I was so worried. Not worried. Angry. Not even angry. That's just what I do. I'm just angry. I'm angry. Hello, Lewis. You were brilliant last night. You was brilliant? Okay, I was brilliant. You were brilliant. Thank you. On Patrick Christie's show. Yeah. I don't know if it was brilliant. The little bit that I saw on replay, I'm like incoherent. I'm incoherent here. I'm just incoherent. Thank you, ladies. I shouldn't have asked how I was because it's really awkward. Anyway, but you can love me anyway. I don't think you do, but if you did, you could say nice things about me. I'm saying nice things about you. If I saw you in person, I'd say nice things to you. Because we are here, and I want to know, it's top work. I thought it was all right. I got a call from the boss. Hello, Lucy. How are you? Hello, Lucy says hello to everybody. I got a call from the boss. The boss yesterday calls me and says, we love you, Lewis, but can you be a little less Lewis? I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this. I don't know what the TV protocol is. Is it okay from director for me to say this on the air? Is it okay for me to say that I got a call from the boss saying, we love you, Lewis, but can you be a little bit less Lewis Schaffer?
That's fine. That's like...
Yeah.
Did you actually?
Yes.
Well, there's your... calling it a slap on the wrist is bad. You should not call it a slap on the wrist.
I didn't call it a slap on the wrist.
I'm saying you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You should not call it a slap on the wrist.
Okay, I'm not calling it a slap on the wrist. No, he said, we love you, Lewis, but can you be a little less Lewis? I don't even know what that means. How can I be less Lewis?
You actually should. Like saying, you could avoid it or say it differently,
Are you sure you can hear this? Can the people out there,
they
can you hear me talking to the director over here? He's in a good mood. He's going to his mom's today. He doesn't realize how much that hurts me. Anyway, yeah, Timmy. Schaffer, it's too hot. So I don't want to argue any barmies. Barmies. Okay, maybe you don't. All right, I think I know what that means. I don't even know what that means, but it's one of those... is that a Northern Irish thing, a barmy, or is that a Scottish thing? Anyway, yeah, he's covering his butt. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can. I don't... And people seem to like it. A lot of people said that guy's not funny, but that's been said my entire life. You got to go... I think that the thing that they say in comedy is star, smile. Star... You have to say that. Star, spot. Well, that's what I should have said. Exactly, Kinsey. That's exactly right. Will I get paid more? I'll tone it down. I'll do whatever. I'd like to say I'll do whatever you want me to do, but I can't do whatever. And I can only do what I do. This is what I do, basically. You've watched me for hours and hours and hours. This is what I do. You keep the way you are, says Zingo. Okay. Do not change. That's what Zingo says. Headed into the low 90s here. Are you in the North Texas, Jim Johnson? Oh, my God. I wish I was there. I wish I was in North Texas. It's hot. But that's not even that hot for North Texas. It used to be... The hottest places on earth used to be up there in the 1930s in Texas. I've been to Texas, but I've never really spent much time in Texas. But I wish I was in Texas. Well, I'm looking dapper, am I? Is the shirt okay? I asked the director if it was okay for me to go on without a shirt. But I don't feel thin. I'm 79.3, which means I'm 2 kilograms less than I was about 5 days ago, 6, 7 days ago. and I don't feel I want to. I feel a bit flabby. I want to be. I want to be, thin. Like we all do. Don't we all want to be thin? I hope we all want to be thin because I'm obsessed with that. I didn't realize how much you love the BBC. Oh my God, I hate the BBC. I hate what it stands for. I hate what the BBC says. I shouldn't even talk about it. They're going to come after me. The things that when you come to this country, Mark, when you come to this country, you think to yourself, it's all good. Or the stuff you think is good is going to be good. You think the BBC is going to be amazing. The NHS, oh my God, I don't have to pay insurance for health care. Oh my God. Are you up a quarter pound? Well, how much is a quarter pound? That's like 200, 300. Quarter pound would be about 180. Would be two. No, a quarter pound is about 100 and something grams, Lucy. Yeah, so you think it's going to be great, and then you realize what is great about this country. It's not the BBC. It's not the NHS. It's the people. It's you people who love Lewis Schaffer. That's the best thing about this country. And then they're not happy with the people behind this country. 1/4 pounder, 4 ounces is 1 beef burger. That's how much you've lost. What's going on? Hold on. How did that turn on? Hold on.
Total immunity. I cannot be prosecuted. So that.
Okay, this thing just went on. I don't know why my thing just went on. My phone. Anyway, hey Simon Arnold, good to see you. Lucy, that's hardly anything. Bet you still look fab. Yeah, you are nice, Claire. She no, maybe she doesn't look fab. We don't look fab. 100 grams is nothing at all. But it's the right direction. We want to keep on. How do we lose weight? This is every single show. We don't want to lose weight. We want to lose the fat. We want to get nice and tight and thin and beautiful. That's what we want. The BBC was okay when they were making stuff like Life on Mars. You want to know something? They were brainwashing us back then too. But maybe it was a better brainwash. They loved Britain. There's no place called Britain. There's a place called England. I just saw a chart about this. Who sent me that? Somebody sent me that. Just read Loretta Swift from MASH is dead. Oh, wow. That's sad. Kind of sad. She was an amazing American actress, Slumbert says. Yeah, do you remember her? Anyway, we could talk about her later. I mean, she didn't really mean that much to me. I remember when the show was on the air. It was basic. My neighbor was a MASH doctor in the Korean War. And he said, it's just like that. So, I mean, that's high praise when the guy who was in the war says it's, the movie's just like the war. Anyway, what were we talking about? I forgot what we were talking about. No, the BBC, because it controlled everything, of course they made good programs. But they didn't make enough good programs, and the programs didn't last long enough. American programs are 26 episodes a year. So they play it once and then repeat it, that's 52. This country, you get 6. 6 episodes. Hot Lips Houlihan, that's right, Alan Williams. Okay, you're on the ball here. Okay, I mean, now whatever it is, they've been captured. Are they captured? I don't know if they're captured. I think people believe in that stuff. It's not like maybe they are captured. You want to keep your job. Yes, thank Lucy. Thanks, Claire. I've brought loads of cheap bacon from the supermarket. Sometimes you get a hunk of gammon. Other times you get ring. It's well worth the risk. Yeah, well, I used to buy bacon in bits, not strips, because it was cheap. Like for 89p, you got 300 grams of cheapo bacon. I don't eat as much bacon as I do. I buy it across the street because I'm lazy. I believe the MASH book writer was Alan Alda's role in real life. Well, he was in control of the entire series towards the end, kind of, because he was Alan Alda. Yeah, he was great in that movie. Remember the movie he was in with Woody Allen? Lies and Misdemeanors or whatever it was? 37. That's brilliant. Thank you, Kinsey. And so we're talking about the show that I was on last night. We could talk about anything, really. I'm not doing that well. I didn't sleep last night. Or I went to sleep late. I mean, I've had 2 cups of tea, and this is a cup of coffee, and I've been vaping a little bit. I shouldn't vape, but I've been vaping, And that is not the... I don't know if I should be doing vaping. These are vapes that I find that people have thrown out in the street, and I pick them up. So you could say that I'm a dirty, dirty person. Maybe I shouldn't admit this, but I don't believe in the germ theory. I don't believe in how you get, you get sick. Oh my God, I just touched something. I touched the top of this, and somebody came here last year, and who had African virus or something. Don't vape, Lewis, especially other people's bloody vapes. Why, Kinsey? Why? It's disgusting. It is disgusting. Maybe it isn't disgusting. I don't believe in the disgustingness of the world. You ever see those guys who go into the sewers in India? I don't know what they're getting there. I think they're getting gold or something that have fallen in there. But they're in the sewer. And they're not dead. I mean, too much wet stuff is bad for you. But if it's been left out in the rain, I guarantee you, it's all good. Claire's daughter vapes. There you go. Yeah, Lucy are you calling me a dirtbag? Is that who you're calling? Lucy. Yeah, I'm a dirtbag. Lewis Schaffer's a known dirtbag. I wouldn't like to be screamed at by Hot Lips. Yeah, she was quite, I'm not going to say who she reminds me of, but that's so funny who she reminds me of. I'm not going to say who she reminds me of, because if she found out about this, she could be quite angry at me. Anyway, touching something isn't the same as exchanging saliva with a stranger's vape. Well, where is the saliva in the stranger's vape? And yet you will always be there, Joodles. This is what Mark Thorosian says. Anyway. Okay, so, yeah. I mean, maybe I shouldn't pick up the vape, but it's free. And it's got a brand new battery. So it works. Anyway. The saliva is on the mouthpiece of the vape. But let's say the mouthpiece, I wash the mouthpiece. I'm a dirty bird, Lucy says, and she wants me to Thorosian. Mark, if you wanted people to pronounce your name properly, you change it. It's like my name, Lewis Schaffer. Could you pronounce my name the way my parents? No one ever did. But I used to be so critical of people. Why don't you change your name? Why don't you change the spelling? We don't have that spelling. But throughout my entire life, Kinsey, yeah. Is it throughout my entire life? My name was unspellable. Thorosian. I had a friend at college who would go through the bins so he could smoke dog ends. Not nice to witness. Upsetting. Yeah, and those, are those people dead? Because they have the bin. They have the what do you call it? The dog? It's called dog ends. Yeah, I know, Lewis. People always said my name wrong, or spelt it wrong. Yeah, but you never see it yourself. I mean, sometimes you go through life and you say, you know what? Maybe I should change my name. But people don't do it. So sometimes they do it. Maybe I should change my name. Don't mention Rose. Yeah, don't mention Rose. Rose is my old girlfriend. True, Lewis, I thought it was Schaffer. Yeah, when I heard it. It wasn't Schaffer. It was Schaffer. It used to have 2 dots on the top, like the Germans. You know the Germans have the 2 dots. Okay. Thought it was related to the supermodel Claudia Schiffer. She was Claudia Schiffer, not Schaffer. Not Rose. Anyway, so might be wrong, but it isn't there burnt sugar in vapes. Not good for the lungs. I did not hear that. No, it's not good. You shouldn't be having vapes. But I mean, is nicotine bad for you? What do we think about nicotine? Umlaut. It's an umlaut. Joodles are so smart. Smartest people. Claudia Schiffer. Yeah, not Schaffer. Claudia Schiffer. Claire. Yeah. Like we saw a picture on yesterday's newspaper of Kate Moss. And she was super thin. Super thin. I mean, she looked a bit, worse for wear. But, I mean, let's be thin. Raise your hand and say, I want to be thin. 2 FFs together would normally sound AFF, as in staff or AFF in calf. Two FFs would normally. Well, what happened? Schaffer. It could be Schaffer. Yeah. Or it could be Schaefer. Right. Yeah, see how people could mix them up, though. Yeah, it's very similar sounding. Yeah. Because we had the umlaut, as it was pointed out by Jules. And we took the umlaut off. Somebody must have taken it off. It was an old German name, whatever. Apparently, nicotine is bad for the teeth and gums, according to dentists. But I don't trust them. A round of applause for Steve Cuff. You can't trust the dentists. So I'd have to see it in multiple studies. What's his name? That new idiot. Maybe he's not an idiot, but what's his name? Tucker Frederickson said that nicotine is good for you. You know, it's probably not good for you. It's burnt leaves. I want to be thin. Yes, DD Plectum. We want to be thin. I've eaten about 1,200, 1,100, 1,300 calories today. And I don't feel, I got this thing. Can you see this? My breasts. Can you see this? It just is not perfect. It's not perfect. Who are all sadists? Kinsey. Kinsey's talking to Steve. I want to be your dog. Whose dog is that? My dog? Yeah, I feed you meat. I'd feed you the same food I feed my kids, but my kids don't want to eat the food that I buy. Well, one kid doesn't. Why don't you want to eat the food that I buy?
Because it's disgusting.
Because it's disgusting. This is what my son
Apart from
says.
some of the cheese.
Apart from some of the cheese. Disgusting. My own son says that. And how I love him so much that I want his approval. But does he give it to me? Did not know. Did you see Northern Ireland bonfire? Did not know they had that tradition. No, but it's a brilliant tradition, a good bonfire. It lets everybody know what you're upset about. Maybe if they practiced democracy in Britain, you wouldn't need to light a bonfire. Lewis, you look good last night with the shaving foam. Oh, you saw me. I forgot that I had it on. Because I don't know what I did. Because I at the end of the show, I have to press live stream. I don't know what I did. I've heard nicotine can give your brain a boost before exams. I've heard that too. A little bit. I've heard that too. And it makes me feel, yeah, I think it's good. I mean, probably all the other stuff is probably bad for you, Lucy. But that, just plain nicotine. Maybe the chewing gum. But you can't be sure with the chewing gum because it goes in your mouth. Next thing you know, you got to. I saw it too, Lewis. Why weren't you over the sink? Because I was running in here because I was thinking, I don't understand exactly how this live stream works, but I didn't want the thing to go on forever. So I came in here. But that wasn't deliberate. I know you're thinking that was deliberate. That's what an absolute mess I am, and I am a total mess. I do not deserve you people to follow me. Yes. But do you know why they have the bonfires? It's not my celebration, but I live in Northern Ireland and know what it can be like. What are they sending messages to the Catholics or the Protestants, whatever they're doing? I'm a masochist. And I said to a sadist, hurt me. Oh, here's that old joke. It's a great joke. So this is what Chris King is saying. He said, I'm a masochist. And I said to a sadist, hurt me. And she said, no. Good. It's a good joke. It's a very good joke. It helps us learn about that. So Alan Williams, there's no news today. Morton Daubeny was talking about unicorn skulls earlier. There is news. 700 people came on the boats yesterday. 700. That's the news. That's what I was so upset about. We saw you with the shaving cream on. I have a screenshot of it to use against you. Yeah. How did my body look, though? Did I look all right? I'm here. I'm here for the mess. It makes me feel better about my own life. Yeah, I hope so. Yes, 700 people, as Kinsey says this. He knew you were still here, Kerry. That's why I was here without the shirt on. It was deliberate. This is what Kerry says. You were laughing your head off. You're a wind-up. I was laughing afterwards because I realized, you could see anything. Oh, look who's here. Kinsey says 700. Is Vicky's here? Armitage Biddy, sister of the night. She's here. She lightens my world. The rest of you people, I don't know what you look like, but I know what Vicky looks like, and she's lovely. And she's a lovely person. She's like so nice. We saw the shaving foam moment too. Oh my God. Craig said you look like Santa, Lewis. Craig's her boyfriend. She's got a boyfriend. And that's what we all should have as a boyfriend. All you girls. I can't make you all happy for very long. I'll try to. Chris King, the joke would work with Satan too. How would it work with Satan? How would it work, Slumbert? Can you explain that to me? Anyway, but 50 people will go back in a week. Go back a week. What does that mean? From having seen that? Okay. Let's see. Fishing for compliments. Who is fishing for? I don't know what this means. We said on Discord you was trim for your age. Yeah. You know what happened? About 8 years ago, I was taking my son to watch him play football. I took him every single week, right, to play football. The other son, not this one. I would have gone to see every single one of his games, too, if I could. Anyway, and I saw the men there, and they were all like in their 50s. They're dads of 17-year-olds or 16-year-olds or whatever. And they all had that stomach. Who has a stomach here? We're going to get rid of that stomach. That's that internal fat that's wrapped around the liver and the kidneys. That very tight. It's a tight stomach. So they got skinny arms and skinny legs, but a tight stomach. And I thought, well, why do they have that stomach? And it was kind of explained to me, this is what happens when you get old. And the more I learned about weight loss, which I am now a genius, 43 people, Kinsey, thank you. And I learned that you do not have to have a fat stomach. We don't have to. Women tend to have more, I don't know, it's called visceral fat or adipose. It's like around, it gives women that nice, soft, gushy thing. Okay? Claire C. doesn't have stomach fat. No, you don't. It's okay, you don't. A victory for Claire. We don't have to have that fat. But women tend not to have that fat. They have the fat on their bums and on their legs, and it covers their body. So that's what we're going to work on. Slumber says, I'm a masochist. I asked Satan to hurt me. And he says, no. Yeah, that's the shorter version. That's actually quite good. I saw a picture of the bonfire, Lucy says. The black silhouette of people on the boat engulfed in flames. It looks scary. Well, we don't want to kill people. We don't want to do that to people. But then again, why aren't they listening to us? Because they hate us. Or you. I mean, me, I'm not even a resident. I'm a resident. What and I says, I know what you will say, that you like Anna Firth. But she's an example of how weedy the average Tory is. Socialist light. What did I say last night? I say that every time I'm here, I point my finger at the two of them. And I say they're on the same team. You're totally right, What and I. They're totally right. The Tories are dead. They have no place. And if you're a Tory, you have to move somewhere else. It's toppling over. Yeah, well, I think there was some big one that toppled over and people got hurt. And they build them up so high, and there's nobody watching them, but they build these things up with wood, and then it creates heat. I don't know if I'm in favor of it. More cushion for the pushing. Lucy, maybe oil in the channel would do the same thing. Yeah, maybe it would. I don't know. Anyway, more cushion for the pushing. I don't know what that's in reference to, but I like the image. Anna is scary. Anna is really, I don't want to say it because I don't agree with her politics that much. I get more angry at her than I do at Gay Matthew. But she's lovely. She's like so nice. She's like, that's all I'm saying. She's so nice. I say, what about the two of us? And she says, well, what about your love for Lucy and Claire and Zingo and Kinsey? What about your love for those beautiful? You know what I mean? She's got a husband. Okay. What was the bonfire about? The small boat invasion, or was it some kind of Viking thing? I think probably about the small boat. It's probably let's build a bonfire and let's put something on top of it. I don't understand all this bondage and rubber and things. Yeah, I don't really practice that much. Bondage and that sort of stuff. What about it? Don't give Lewis ideas, Steve. What is Steve saying about me? Lucy, thumbs up. Yeah, well, I don't even know what Lucy looks like. Do we know what Lucy looks like? She tells me she's a bit fat. I called him Gay Matthew. Yeah, and he's actually he could be better looking, but he's fat. And I don't tell him he's fat. I'm going to be telling him he's fat. Matthew is so unbelievably rude to Anna. because that's how they play their game. They're like on the same side, right? But we're fighting each other. A bunch of, this is what they do. To be honest, says Kinsey, the boat depicted in the bonfire was a lot smaller than the actual boats that are arriving here. Yeah. Zingo says, say it, Lewis. Ha ha. What am I going to say? What am I going to say? You tell everyone it's fat. Do you tell Patrick? Yes, I did. He's gained a little bit of weight, and he's so good looking, so it doesn't really matter. And that's the problem when you're really good looking, you gain a little bit of weight. No one notices until you stop being really good looking. Like one of my sons is a bit fat, but he's good looking. He's not good looking, but the other one is good. Good. Sorry about this, director. Well, stuttering Laza. It's a phenomenal that some people are actually on television. Is he stuttering? I never noticed that. I think I'm stuttering. I think I'm all over the place. Some girls, according to Helen B., hey Helen, are bigger than others. Says Morrissey, yeah, too much. Let's be thin. Let's be thin for Lewis Schaffer. Let's be thin so when you walk down the street, the guys go, yeah, I want to be with that. Oil in the Channel could have been an alternative meeting to what? Anyway, so that's the point. So I'm on the TV with those guys. Have we finished discussing the bonfire? Thank you, Claire. Claire always has a nice word to say about me, and don't think it doesn't go unnoticed. It goes totally noticed when somebody has something nice to say about me. That doesn't at all. Shouldn't we all say nice things about each other? Plastic shark boats scare them back across the channel. But you know what it is? All you need to do is you need to put a boat there and say you're not coming any further. And if you do, I don't know. It's like what those guys were saying. We need to work with each other to stop the boats. Lewis, could you oblige and pull the on-screen chat in slightly from the screen edge so that we can see the whole text? Oh yeah. Oh, I see it over here. Do you see this over here, Columbus? Yeah, I think. Yeah, let me.
On window.
On the home window. Yeah.
Well, you need to go to editor and.
I think I'm in editor. I think I'm doing it now.
Or you can just go to Google.
There it is. How is that? How is that, Archie? Is that all right? Anna can handle him. Can Anna handle me? Or are you talking Lucy? I think she's, and also as a man gets older, ever since don't wave. Where are you going? I didn't give you permission to go see your mother. I did not I'm serious. I did not. Are you headed for the door? Are you really? Do not come back.
I'm not a good actor.
I am. You're not a good actor. Am I a good actor? Was that almost believable? He's going to see his mother. His mother's not bad. She's a typical woman. Anyway, what was I saying? One of the benefits, how do you get away? Okay, one of the benefits of being an older man, which I am, as you can tell, is that everyone's looking good. Even old people, even old women, even the guys everybody looks good. Even guys are looking good. They're looking good. And Anna is 60. I don't want to say how old she is, but she looks so good. She looks really good. Anyway, does that sound creepy? I asked yesterday a couple of people, a friends of mine, was I being creepy? And they said, no, you're not creepy. I don't think I'm really creepy, but I could, if left alone, I could be really, really creepy. I've been watching on an app in the Home Office Coast Guard boat at Dover, as I'm curious how many times it docks. Oh, you're watching an app. Oh, I see. About this coast from the Home Office showing how many times the boat docks. What's a typical woman? What do you mean by that? Is 70 the new 50? 70's the new 20 for me. Yeah, that's what I mean. When you're young, you think, oh, just, whatever. And then I just think, oh, that'll do. Now I think, wow, that's amazing. I think many people look better when they're older. I think if you lose a bit of weight, everybody, we will all look better. I'm not creepy. See, I basically want people to say I'm not creepy. I am creepy. In my own mind. Jim Johnson says, Lewis, I've learned a lot from Dr. Berg on YouTube about visceral fat and getting rid of it. Yeah, I like Dr. Berg a lot. He's not one of my super favorites. I prefer Dr. Ken Berry or Ivor Cummings or what's his name down in Atlanta, Sven Ekberg. I prefer those guys. I see that plastic shark thing like a Benny Hill sketch or Monty Python, watching them as pedal fast forward or back across. Yeah. 70 the new 20. That would make me 3. I don't know how that joke works, but it could work. The first rule of government is to protect borders and people. I know to my own detriment. Yeah, that's the first thing. We're libertarians. I don't believe that the government should do anything except protect borders and be able to form a defense force. Yeah, that's Joy Earls talking. I'm with Joy. Joodle swoon. This is Steve Cuffis saying to Joodles, I almost fainted. Have you taken a screenshot? What is this? What? Oh, my leg. Oh, because my leg is up here. Is that what that is? I don't know. I can't keep track. Do you model yourself on Pierce Brosnan? He looks good for his age. I don't model myself on him, but I think he does look good. And then he his wife is looking good. I guess she's on Ozempic or something, but she wasn't looking good for very long. I shouldn't say that. But she was my wife was so beautiful. She's getting, men care about that stuff. What do you women think about in a man? What do you think? You don't want a man to embarrass you. You want a man to protect you, maybe, or be able to protect you. You want a man who's smart. So any man who's stupid, who doesn't protect you, you don't want any part of it. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Hi, guys. Joe is here. Joe's late on the parade, just catching up. Okay, catch up, Joe. We'll talk to you later. Let's see. I think that all Hitler needed was an armada of rubber boats to invade the island. This island, being Britain. Or yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, women need to connect on an intellectual level. If they don't connect with you, they lose respect and they don't find you attractive. My wife was telling me that. She didn't respect me. But you see what I'm like. You see what I'm like. I wish I wasn't like this. But I'm like this. I'm like this. I'm like this. I don't have to go through life when I'm at home and try to be as smart and like that as possible. I should do that. I should. But it's a lot harder to be smart than it is for a woman to be thin. I'm not saying you girls are fat. You women are fat. Don't ever change, Lewis. Thank you, Claire. I'm not saying you women are fat, but let's work on the fat. Now you can get. There was last night on the show. There was a woman who says, I gave my 11-year-old daughter Ozempic, and there's a picture of her with her daughter, and I say, yeah, daughter's a big one. And her daughter was taller than she was because the food today is so bad for you, all of the grains and whatever. Lucy says, hi, Joe. Thank you, Claire. Don't ever change. Okay. You said Anna was a typical woman. Answer the question. What's a typical woman? I don't know how did I use it? About her physical shape? I mean, she's not 20 or 30 or 40 or 50, but she's got a lot of life left in her. And I find her very attractive. Now, I don't find them all attractive, but I find her very attractive. Before, I thought I deserved perfection. And then I realized I was not in any way perfect. And so I did, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm seeing the joy. And, she's got very flashy eyes. Fantastic. This show is all about me and Anna. It's wrong. Lewis doesn't stutter. But when you emphasize something, you repeat the line, like comedian Tom Papa. I knew Tom Papa a lot. Okay, both funny. Yeah, well, the line has to be repeated. That's what comedy is. If you don't repeat it, then it gets put in a little clipping, and next thing you know, you got the disabled people on your case. You got to repeat it to let the people know you're making a joke. Lucy, didn't he say his ex was a typical woman? Joodles. Did I say that about my ex? No, I mean all women are typical. They're all horrible. You're horrible, Lucy. You look at you and you think, oh, you're going to be different, but you're not different. They're all the same. So that's why I focus. Yeah, I'm not asking you to change because, So the definition of a typical woman, not 20, not 30, not 40. Well, that's us all enlightened. Is that what I meant? No, I'm saying there's a lot of beautiful people out there. That's what I'm saying. Okay, do you think weight loss drugs are good for people who've tried everything else and can't lose weight? Well, you haven't tried everything else because you're not on a carnivore diet. You haven't followed Sean Baker. You haven't followed these people. So I'm against it. I lost weight the old-fashioned way, but and it's really hard to lose weight. So if you're fat, there's not, it's gonna be a hard slog. What did somebody say to me? A small, a minute on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. Who said that? A life left in her. Yeah, life left in her. Yeah, you got a little bit of life left in her. You look at women, it used to be when I started in this country, I had a lot of young people following me because they thought I was youthful or something. Now the young people don't like me. Some men don't need to protect their women. Sometimes they have to duck for cover because some women do wear the trousers and roll up their sleeves if someone else annoys them. Yes, Mark J. That's very true. Like my joke about, I had a young girlfriend, so I needed to stay in shape because she used to throw a wicked punch. Women have selective hearing, says Jay Evans. No such thing. Okay. There's no such thing as a typical woman or man. What is a typical human? There isn't one. Have you been married, Steve? I mean, I've been married. I've been with a couple of women, and that women are fairly typical in a good way. I got myself down to 10% fat. Wow, that's so nothing. Because that's typical for bodybuilders. I'm not a bodybuilder, and I look like a skeleton. Maybe that's too much. I'm at 25%, and that's too much. That's too much. You've been married twice, and you got to look at the similarities between. There's a similarities between women as a similarities between men. You're good today, Joe. Hope your sun is shining. Sounds poetic. But you're not married now, and you're laughing. Because, women like a fight. Okay, usually some women don't, but a lot of times they do. Are you saying that women aren't typical? Thanks, guys, says Joe, for being great and saying hi. I won't message all of you, as that may be annoying. So Joe says thanks to everybody. Did Ron Jeremy say that? What did I say about Ron? I should have read that sooner. I loved Ron Jeremy. And is he in prison? He's in prison. People had sex with him, and then they complained they had sex with a fat, hairy, Jewish, all the great ones are Jewish porn star. Yeah. I mean, if he's still in prison, that is a shame. Let's Google that. Is he still in prison? Is Ron Jeremy in prison? Let's look for that. Ron Jeremy in prison. They destroyed him. This is, when was this? This was 2 years ago. Get your news. You got to sign in to the BBC. Here's my finger to the BBC. Oh my God, he looks so horrible. He looks really horrible. Oh my God. U.S. adult film star Ron Jeremy has been declared mentally incompetent to stand trial for alleged sex crimes. 34 crimes of sexual assault, 12 of RA, whatever it is, over a period of more than 20 years. Has incurable cognitive declines. How old is Ron Jeremy? He's 1 year older than I am. His real name is Ronald High. His legal name became one of those prolific performers. He said he attacked 21 women from 15 to 51 between 1996 and 2019. The alleged offenses took place in bars and nightclubs in the New York area, in the Los Angeles area where he was living. Yeah, well, yeah, maybe he did. I mean, this is where I'm bad. It's Ron Jeremy. How does that happen? Did he take all these girls into the alleyway? Argue with me about this. Let's see what we're talking about, Ron Jeremy. Let me enlighten you, Lewis. You know absolutely nothing about women. Yeah, you're probably right. And you don't know absolutely nothing about men. Okay, let's see what it says about Ron Jeremy. A lifetime on the lips. Yeah. I mean, do you guys know who Ron Jeremy? Not all women are the same. I had similar chat with a fantastic Joe on Discord the other morning. Yeah, women are great. You can have a nice chat with them. Ron Jeremy is Creepsville 10 out of 10. How do you be in a position where you feel like maybe he's touching you or something? That's why I ask if I'm Creepsville. You know what I mean? If I was creepy, I would try to keep that to myself. I'm trying to do that now. I know absolutely nothing about Ron Jeremy, to be fair. He was a really funny porn star, and now he's 69. He's 1 year older than I am. And he's been accused. Why is he accused? Because everybody... I don't care if I say this, because I know it's really unlikely. Lewis Schaffer takes the defense of somebody. I don't care. You want to say why? You know, I mean, there's some people on this thing that I've had chats with. You just have to assume. You have to assume that the guy is bad and the women is bad, and it's really women have been. Women don't keep their mouth shut now. I don't believe that. Loved his refusal to get vaxxed. Man of principle. What about my refusal to get vaxxed? You're not creepy at all. You're saying that, Claire. I don't believe you. Okay. Watanai says, when I was a student in the 1980s, we had a Ron Jeremy tape. He looked horrible then. Yes. And we couldn't understand how he got to shag women for money. Yeah. But then later on, he's an RA, whatever it is. You know, he was really funny, and I think what happened is that maybe he didn't give the women... Present your defense of Ron Jeremy coherently, Lewis. This is what Judel says. Judel is a real feminist. All the women lied. All of them. There are no R... whatever it is, anywhere. You want to know something? Yes, they didn't, maybe they weren't lying exactly. They believe something horrible happened because you wake up and you're covered with Ron Jeremy. And you think to yourself, this is disgusting. I didn't agree with this. How could I agree to have sex with this guy? This guy must have done it. So, Judels, I'm sorry if you don't like me, but yeah. You're not a feminist, Lewis. Yes, you are. Of course you are. Do you not work for a living? You're a feminist. Okay. Oh, yes. It's that guy. Yes, I've seen him. Who owned the mansion. I forgot. I don't know. He was arrested for being bloated and fat. Yeah, because I guarantee you, if he'd been really good looking, he wouldn't have been accused of this. That's just the way it is. Probably had a... Oh my God, I'm so horrible. Can I apologize to you women? I want you to like me. I want to be nice, but I don't believe him. I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't believe it. Why didn't anyone complain at the time? That's the other question. I'm sorry, women. This is just a fact. It's just a fact. Ron Jeremy was gross. But, he took a girl home, come back to my house. Come back to my house. Anyway. But some were drugged. Okay, well, that's different. But then again, a lot of girls won't, not a lot of girls. Yeah, it's not good. Have I lost viewers on this thing? People don't like me anymore. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that to women. But, Lewis, apologize to Judels. Oh, you're leaving. Are you leaving, Judels? Are you leaving? Lewis, apologize. I'm apologizing. She's leaving. Well, because I don't agree with... Yeah, that's a very... All right, maybe the show's over. How come all the women I meet are lonely and all the ones you meet, Lewis, are horrible? Well, every woman has a capability of being horrible. She's leaving this because I didn't agree with her. Yeah. I didn't agree with her. She wants to believe that. Lewis apologized. I did apologize. And I tuned in to hear you being challenging. That's the appeal. Are you a girl, Hobhod, or are you a boy? We can't agree on everything, right? Yeah, but this is one of those subjects where you have to agree with. Somebody says that guy. As somebody who, I had one finger pointed at me, and people went, yeah, it must be true, because why would she lie? She didn't even know she was lying. She just, yeah, maybe she didn't know. She just said, this is a bad man. He doesn't love me anymore. Let's change the tack then, Lewis, because guys are worse, I think. Yeah, guys are worse. No, I'm the guy. Lewis is, I'm a guy. You're a guy. Thank you, Habad. Yeah. Oh, my God. The truth comes out about Lewis Schaffer. This is the truth. The truth is. The truth is. I mean, Ron Jeremy, like he's going to go to jail as if he's been prowling around. Move on. Okay. We're moving on. My apologies. We had Joodles walk out. Anybody else want to walk out? And I like whatever. That's a female thing. Anyway, all right. So what are we going to discuss? What are we going to discuss? RJ looked tore up. What does it mean, tore up? Like he looked like it was a mess, like he was destroyed. He looked pretty bad. It's really sad. He's brought a lot of people joy. All those people like me in the 70s and 80s who used to watch those videos, it gave us hope that someday we might have. We didn't think that they were being paid, these girls that he's making movies with. We thought they liked him. You know, I mean, maybe don't worry about it. Judas will come back. And if she doesn't come back, you know, I got falsely accused once, so all accusations are false. No, and no. But a lot of them are false. I'm going to walk out, but only because I'm heading into Warsaw for a few pints in the sun. What pub are you going into there? What's happening now? Joodles walked out. Joodles left. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't. Yeah, I think they're lying. I think a lot of them are lying. I think a lot of them believe it. But to us, if you ask a guy, it's a lie. I thought Amber Heard was a liar. I'm sorry. I believe that. I'm a guy. Men need to speak for themselves and say, I think she's lying. What does a female thing walk out? Men walk out equally. No, they don't walk out like that. They don't just go, well, I'm leaving. They might argue with you. I think it's shallow of anyone to go by looks alone, to be honest. Yeah, personality has to count for something too. If he had a great personality, which he did, he was so funny. He was like a comedian. Some women would like that. This is the worst show we've ever done. I've had someone walk out. This is the absolute worst show. I thought RJ died. Well, he's in prison. That's like a death. 69 years old. He can't even defend himself in prison. He's been in prison for 10 years, maybe. Okay? 10 years. Why is he in 10 years? Because, you know, why, you know, they're in 10 years. Okay, I'm out too. Bye. Okay, thank you. Now it's absolutely the worst show because Lucy walks out too. Yeah, he was really fat. He looked horrible. He had probably had diabetes. Totally, he has diabetes now. Don't get upset. Amazing, he was mentally unfit to stand trial. Yeah. Joe, I walked out of a job once, Wandsworth Textile Services. Yeah, so have I. We've all walked out. I mean, why would you care what I said? Does that make me an evil person? Now, we've been together for 31 days, or now 32, something like that. It's today the 11th, 31 days. What's happening? We need to rediscover that love. Yeah, maybe we do. Monjaro would save Ron J. Yeah, my friend's on Monjaro. Lewis, move on, or no women will be left. Thank you, Kerry. Okay, what are we discussing today? I think, geez, Lewis, I look away for 5 minutes. What did you do? What did you do? Okay, 30 people. What did you do? Last night so we discussed last night at GB News. My mental deterioration. Could we discuss that? Do I seem mentally deteriorated? because I feel like I was watching Dick Cavett yesterday, and I thought he was mentally deteriorated. I was watching the president, and I think he's losing a step at 78 years old. But maybe he's like tired. I'd rather talk about blood pressure than this. And my blood pressure, which is 165. 165. This reminds me of comedy shows that I've done, where I've said something and the audience thinks, "Oh my God, we hate this guy," and there's nothing you can say. I think the problem today might be the name calling. The only people who have lost an argument name call or generalize. Could be. So is that today? Well, I'm going swimmingly well, I see. It's all going. Now it's going downhill. I basically destroyed the show. I thought we'll accept it. We don't agree with all of Lewis's views, that we still love him. Well, maybe Joodles wants to love the perfect Lewis. And Lewis is, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. Okay, I do love Trump. He's like a New York taxi driver. Surprisingly is, when we were in New York, we didn't think he was a New York guy. We didn't think that at all. But he is a really New York guy. My grandson is eating pizza. It looks good. But I'm going to resist. Yes, it is. I'm going to resist. Oh, yeah. I missed the live blood pressure results the other day. Oh, I have my cuff ready to go. Well, put your cuff on and you can tell us what you're getting. Me too, says Claire. So we lost Lucy and we lost Joodles. Who else have we lost? Okay. The Lewis Schaffer show is really the new Kelly Monteith show. Remember him? No, I don't. I know who Kelly Monteith is. I don't remember the show here in this country. Yeah. So my heart rate today was like about 105 over 105, which is lower than it's been before because I've been taking 100 milligrams of losartan. Okay? Okay? Of losartan. And, but, so let's say that's gone down about 10%, my heart rate has gone down 10%, which is considered an amazing thing. Lewis is bothered about Lucy leaving. It's put him off track. Yeah, you bet. I'm really upset about that. I'm upset about Lucy. I know on Joodles too. I'm upset about that. Yeah, I'm taking the last 2 days of dodgy pills. Most New York taxi drivers, according to Slumber, don't want to steal Greenland from Denmark. Yeah. I mean, it's not exactly stealing. Why should the Danish people be in control? Why should they be in control of them? Yeah, take a break. Yeah, let's take a break. I'm taking a break. Just talk amongst yourselves. Okay. People can't predict the things they say may offend somebody. Yeah, you can't. I mean, I wasn't thinking about that, but, yeah. I think sometimes people have to, recognize, I think that sometimes people have to recognize we are all human here. Well, you could say that, or you could say there's some things I did not want to hear from anybody, Can anyone get Lucy and Joodles back? No, they're not. Let's say they're not coming back. Maybe this is my last show because I didn't believe what they said about what's his name. Go to the chemist pharmacy and ask for laudanum. Do they still sell that? Have you heard of nattokinase? Yeah. What is that again? Is that for keto stuff? That's something? Okay. If I left, couldn't give a yeah. No, if you left, I would care too. Can we talk about films, books, culture, not health, which we know is important? But just for today, yeah, I guess we got to talk about something else. I should be stronger. I should say, well, f off. But I'm not. Actually, don't make it your last show. Thank you, Claire. Just in case we are still doing the blood pressure thing, I'm 127/86. Your pulse is 70. Yeah, well, what is 70 times 127? That's how you measure whether you're in good shape. Not just this the whatever it's called. I'm doing the math. Yeah, you're all right. You're all right, you Jarrett. You're all right. You're all right. We could talk about films. Okay. That would be good. Would be films. But I'm easily affected by things. I'm Lewis Schaffer. I'm a human being supposed to be good for the blood, especially if you have had the COVID vax. Laudanum is heroin basically. Laudanum is heroin. People used to take it because they wanted the heroin effect. They used to go into shops, in pharmacies. Who's read that book, Naked Lunch? Imagine what Lewis is like when he gets dumped. Like by a girl, like with how I felt like when my girlfriend dumped me. Yeah, it was. I feel like I'm dumped now by Lucy and Joodles. I feel like, I understand. I understand. I'm not saying that all women who make accusations are not telling the truth. Okay? But to say, 30 people came out, one of them must be telling the truth. Well, you got to see how the court cases work. Right? Basically. I guarantee you. And yeah, he was Lewis, whatever age the beautiful opposite sex are, they should be treated with respect, Lewis. Sometimes you're a little abrasive. Yeah, I'm a little abrasive. Yeah, and I've got no filter, Jim Johnson. Yeah, I'm losing it. No, yeah, maybe I'm not losing it. I mean, for the blood, nattokinase. Yeah, Watanabe, your blood pressure goes up and down really quickly. That's why it's a really bad test, because it's going up and down, and it depends. And you go into the doctor's office, and you're like a nervous wreck, and it goes up. It goes up. Let's see what's going on. I'll tell you. Let me look up what nattokinase is. Nattokinase. Okay, benefits for men. Let's see what it says it does. Helps dissolve blood clots. Well, I don't have blood clots, which help maintain good blood structure, improves blood sugar. Okay, can lower your blood pressure, reducing strain. What exactly is it? Let's find out what exactly it is. Its use is side effects. It comes from natto. Yeah. Natto is made from boiled soybeans that have been fermented in a type of bacteria. It may thin the blood. Yeah, so it could be all right, but we don't need to take any medication because it all has side effects. Basically, it all has side effects. I didn't even know what was said. I just enjoyed listening to you waffling. Well, I am waffling. I'm quite upset. Do you think Greek TV News will invite you back? I can understand if they don't want to. I mean, look what I've done here. I've lost people here, and I should be like so nice. But it'd be one thing if I didn't care, and I say, yeah, don't follow me, don't listen to me. We'll never dump you or him. Thank you. Well, they might. They would never. We'd never. No. Traumatizing, especially for people with traumatic events and need to consider. I had to watch my husband nearly kicked to death by a mob, failed to deport. 3 months later, killed a toddler. Yeah, that I don't know. I don't understand exactly what's traumatizing, especially for people with traumatic events and need to consider what. I had to watch my husband nearly kicked to death by a mob. Who was failed to deport. 3 months later, who killed a toddler? You are doing great, 31 days in a row, which is amazing. Well, I was doing great up until now, and I just, I mean, this is the thing. That's why I'm really surprised that I've been here for this long, and I haven't said anything. I said something bad. I mean, would you rather me not say something? What happened November 22? One of the assailants. How it happened. So one of the assailants. Lewis, you said so many things that offend people, yet you're upset now. I'm upset. I mean, I'm upset now because I really like Joodles and Lucy, and and I don't want people to think that I don't believe all women. I believe some women. I don't believe all women. I'm sorry. I don't believe all women. And it's sort of empowering to say that. It's really empowering to say it. I followed that trial so much, the Amber Heard trial. And she was like lying. She was lying, Lewis. Lying. Difficult subjects can't be avoided. Lewis is not trying to offend. I wasn't trying to offend. I wasn't going, like that. It wasn't that way. It was like, yeah, I mean, there are situations when there are 30 or 20 people and they're not lying. They haven't gotten it together. Nada for blood pressure. And they're not lying. We're not lying. But we're not lying. And so, we're not lying. And sometimes they think, you know what, I want money from the guy. Sometimes it's about money. Sometimes it's about payback time. Okay? I've had that experience with women. I get on like a house on fire, then say one thing, and it all blows up in my face. Nothing can say gets it back. Nothing you can say can get it back, Hobnob. Yeah, probably right, Lewis. The free speech absolutist. Keep on. Well, I'd like to be a free speech absolutist. I'd like to be able to say, especially here. Thank you, Simon. 1 hour and 2 minutes. For FF's sake, Lewis, you're sounding like my ex. Yeah, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But I want to know, it is, you want to be with somebody who is not going to be affected by what you're saying. Who likes you no matter what. Who just doesn't go, you know what, you said that to me, I'm not going to like you. Johnny was bullied. Johnny was bullied. Trial 1 in the UK, and people knew there was more to it than that. And it wasn't televised, so we didn't know about the trial. Trial 2 opened it up for both sides to see because it was a public trial. It was a public trial. The other trial, it was. I don't know whether you could call it corrupt, the Amber Heard trial, but it was, because the judge's wife was the PR person for Amber Heard. I mean, that's a bit too much. That the PR person for Amber Heard was the guy who was working at Talk TV or Talk Radio or something. It was a little bit too connected with each other. Okay? Speak your mind. If you censor yourself, I'm leaving. Thank you, DEFCON. Thank you. I'm going to be leaving. I mean, I'm not crying about this, but what is this? If he was female, what do you say to Carrie? Maybe they were having their tea. But if they're having their tea, you can see what effect that you, the audience, or people listening has on me. It has a big effect. So why would you want to make me feel bad if you're just going to have your tea? But if you're not having your tea, I mean, I apologize. I didn't mean to make you feel bad. Maybe, every woman had situations that they were put themselves into. Okay. So What and I says to DEFCON correct, which is DEFCON. Speak your mind. Yeah. I'm speaking my mind. It's an interesting question what people put up with. And maybe if I hadn't if we weren't all so deeply involved with each other in this thing, no one would have noticed that she had left. And lots of people leave and then they write horrible things. I just heard Lewis Schaffer say something horrible. Okay? You know, that's right. Kinsey, 46. Lewis, let's move on. We love you. Okay, I think maybe I have to move on. I have to move on. Okay, so we talking about the blood pressure. Are we still on the blood pressure? What is, oh my God. Was GB News eventful at all? I missed it last night. I mean, it was sort of eventful. I said that they shouldn't ask the French what they should do about the boat problem. They shouldn't give the French any money to solve this thing. They should just bring the boats in and stop people from crossing the channel and send them back. But they're not going to do that. Now, that could be considered offensive to people. Like what I said about the disabled, it could be considered offensive. Are you advocating killing those people? I'm not advocating killing them. My friends love me, thank God, and aren't judgy, nor have any have you been. I mean, judging me. Okay? Okay, move on. The hole is getting bigger. Yeah. Maybe I should take a break. Should we take a break? Let's take a break, a 2-minute break. While I cry. That's a good point, Archie Clume. I'm going to go wash my face. Okay. I don't know where he is. He's out. He's out. My other son is out. I think we know by now that you are a decent bloke. I'm not so sure I'm so decent. I think that's what I think. I think sometimes it's true, but I think sometimes, you get 20 people and they all think, oh my God, I had sex with Ron Jeremy and that was disgusting. And then you don't say things with the intent. That's true. I didn't say this to make anybody hurt. I actually don't even know what went on. I'm not going to explain it to you. Offense is not given, it's taken. You can tread on eggshells just in case. You cannot tread on eggshells, says Lud, just in case someone takes offense. Just be yourself. Yeah, but I'm a comedian, and comedians, there are certain things you can and cannot say. You can't say that. You know, so I liked it when we talked about Velikovsky. I did too. I love Velikovsky. And we never discussed it on GB News because that guy didn't like it. He didn't like being discussed. WD-40 slumber. What does that mean? What does that mean? The point is, okay. The point is, how many personalities you have, Lewis? Well, don't we all have lots of personality? I feel you've seen me. How many have you seen? Yeah. Well, he's not here. Maybe if he were here, I could say to him, was that wrong? He'd probably say it was wrong. He's like, oil the chair. Sorry. I found the chair in the street. It probably needs oiling. What do the carrots mean, Kinsey? Schrodinger's cat. You opened the box. Yeah. Even though, do you think Schrodinger's cat is a real thing? Is the cat alive or dead? No, it doesn't matter. It's just, we don't know yet. It's neither alive nor dead. It's just we haven't opened the box. In and out of the EU makes no difference. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. If you leave, there is nowhere for us to go. I'm not going to leave. I'm going to just get over this. I mean, this is my problem as a comedian. It's like, oh my God, somebody doesn't like me. I mean, that's not the way you have to be as a comedian. You got to be, lots of comedians go, I don't care what you think. Get the hell out. I'm keeping on going. But Velikovsky is amazing. Okay. Jared, he's into Velikovsky. I don't remember anyone laughing about the RJ conversation. No, it wasn't funny at all. It wasn't funny, but you don't know what's funny and what's not funny. You don't know what's funny. Somebody asks you a serious question. You think, well, what is the serious answer? I wasn't thinking, if I say this, she's going to hate me. Lewis, I admire your recycling, but is there anything in your room that you didn't pick up on the street? Anything in the room that I didn't pick up on the street? No. All the furniture is picked up on the street or given to me. Yeah, I got it where I got it at charity shops. As Niels Bohr. What is Niels Bohr? Isn't that a brand of Bohr? Niels Bohr, the what you call it? His mood. My mood is not that good. Hi, Rachel. Thank you for joining us. Where are you from, Rachel, again? You only get about 4,000 weeks. You only get 4,000 weeks on this planet. Then you will be pushing up daisies. It doesn't matter. Nothing does. Be true to yourself. I wish that were the case. Unfortunately, we live in an interconnected world. We live. Hold on. Someone's saying something. It's like what happened. You get over things. It's like when Lisa left to do her own radio show. Worcestershire. Oh, okay, great. What's your favorite girl's name, Rachel? Well, it could be Rachel, but I like Kerry too, and I like Kinsey. But Rachel, I was in love with a girl named Rachel in school. But you can have other names other than Rachel. Anyway, so maybe they're on the Discord. Apologize. I should go on the apologize. I wasn't saying that I was sure that not one of them was, but I know what Ron Jeremy looks like. Pavlov's dog. That dog rings a bell. Very funny. Okay. Sorry I mentioned. Yeah, you opened a can of worms, Warren Foster. So you should apologize. There's a guy works down in the chip shop, swears he's Elvis. That's true. He's a liar. But I'm not sure about you. What a great song. My nan used to say, "You are dead." Put the thing in there. You are dead a long time. Yeah, but that doesn't mean we can't care about people and stuff like that. You know, we can't care. And sometimes they get all upset and they're the victims, and then you feel bad because they're the victims. But, maybe you shouldn't have gotten upset. Lewis, it is not the case that many comedians start being the joker in the class floor because being human, they crave affection and or validation. Not just in class, in life itself. You're trying to make your mother laugh. That's the difference between comedians and actors. Actors just want attention. No, she didn't come back, Lucy. She didn't come back. But if Lucy's here, it's good to see you, Lucy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, you know, it's like, yeah, I didn't mean to make her so upset. I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see you. I hope she comes back. You know what? I remember one time I was doing a show in New York. This Japanese woman just sort of fell off her chair. And I thought she was like hating the show, but she wasn't hating the show. She had taken a long flight from Japan. I don't know what that means yet. But it means like sometimes you say things that upset people. That you don't even know why it upsets. It like hits a mood. It's like that's one of the great debates in comedy. Are we allowed to discuss anything? Well, what if you're discussing someone who got burnt in a forest fire and your brother got burnt in a forest fire? Should that comedian not make a joke about some kind of reference to it? Yeah, D.D. Plectum says, my moods change. If I wake up happy and giggling, I know I'll be feeling suicidal by 6 p.m. Yeah, that's what happens with people. And that's what happens with me. I just go, oh my God, life is not... I do that a lot. As you can probably tell. It's like, what's his name wrote that thing about me yesterday, and it was like it affected me. I'm thinking, why is this guy saying something bad about me? Why have I told that joke so badly that people thought I was actually recommending killing and shooting? Why? But he thought this, and then what? And then I'm reading what he said. He said maybe I thought, what? Maybe he's right. Maybe I don't care about people that much. But we're glad you're back, Lucy. Thank you. To Lucy, thank you very, very much for coming back. My moods change also. If I wake up happy and giggling, yeah, that's what D.D. Plecton says. That's what D.D. Plecton says. So maybe we can go back to losing weight, or is that am I being anti-women by telling women that they need to lose weight and that they should lose weight? Mombio, yeah, that guy. I mean, is it? Lots of women get really offended if you say, it means more to them than it does to men. I never talk about this publicly to women, to their faces, unless they mention it to me. Some things in comedy will trigger people, and that's unfortunate, says Steve Cuff. The chat earlier did not include comedy and doesn't have the same excuse. How do you know what I meant it to do? How do you know? That's the question, Steve. You don't know. You don't know what I was thinking. I'm in a comedy framework, which is I'm thinking, I don't care. I'm thinking I'm just going to say this, and that's my comedy. I'm in a comedy mood because if I had known it was going to hurt somebody, I wouldn't have said it. So it wasn't like just let's be serious and say anything. Basically. Dvorak with break. Is Dvorak playing tennis today? He's great. He's a vegetarian, so I don't agree with that. But he wouldn't take the jab. And he wasn't allowed to play in Australia. He kind of snuck into Australia, but he didn't realize that he was famous. Hold on a second. I've got a message from somebody. Yeah. Okay, good to see you. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of stuff going on. All right. Is that going to be our show, or should we keep it going? We should keep it going. Let's keep it going. If anybody is in Nana, you can come and sit in my chair here. I don't like that. I don't like, that's one thing that women do, is they say, he said something that bothered me, and I can't be his friend. He said something, and that's women. But that's the way women are, a lot of women. You say, oh, they're just like men. They're not just like men. They're different than men. I can't be in the same room as you. That's what they might be thinking. We can't expect Lewis to talk for 3 hours a day and never upset anyone at all. Thank you, Alan. But you have to remember, Alan, thank you, Archie, you're a guy. You're a guy. And you're not getting upset. But women get upset at stuff. Like when I'm performing in front of a comedy audience and there are women there, I know there are certain things you can't say. Certain way you have to phrase a joke. Certain way. Women hold grudges, Lewis. Men just have a fight and then they hug each other. Yeah, that's basically true. Basically true. And then they say, "Do you really think that, Lewis?" And then they go, "Well, I can't be with you if you really think that." It's like my friend who got really upset because I voted for Trump. I didn't vote for Trump, but she got really upset because I support Donald Trump, but she couldn't believe it because all of her friends in America, nobody had told her that they supported Trump. It's amazing how sensitive you are for someone who has zero sensitivity for others. Yeah, maybe that's true too. I think I'm pretty sensitive to others. I'm not completely sensitive to others. That's why, maybe I'm right. Maybe that's right. Some old school humor has died, I think. Did you ever watch the American Saturday Night Roasts? Yeah, Lewis, I love those things. I loved Don Rickles, amazing. I loved all those people. I think we've all dealt with being called fat quite well. Yeah, I'm calling you fat. I don't even know if you're fat, but maybe that's why it's okay. Maybe that's what makes it so much fun. For women especially. For men, I've been called fat. You don't take it personally. You don't think, "Oh my God, this person hates me as a person because he called me fat." But, some people do. Some people do. I'm out. That's what people think. That's what they think about situations like this. I'm out. I'm out. I'm not going to... You said something. You think that all... whatever and all, try and pick yourself up, Lewis. I'm trying. Can you see? I'm trying to work my way out of it. The world has become so sensitive. We all need to grow up. It's not any more sensitive than it used to be. It's a bit more sensitive, but I don't think this kind of thing would have happened years ago. It would have. It wouldn't have happened. It would have happened. It would have happened. Thank you, Mark J. I appreciate it. I don't think the world is. It is more sensitive. It is more sensitive. I think because basically what happened is that people went a bit. I don't want to talk about this thing because this thing is too sensitive to talk about. So I'll try not to talk about it. I'll talk about it. Is at one point when this whole Me Too thing came out, right? People went, "Oh my God, you got to believe the woman." That's what it means, believe the woman, because maybe women weren't believed. And then then people just lined up, and we got to believe all women. And I go, you can't believe all women. You can't believe all women. You can't believe all men. But that's how they get you with an accusation. So suddenly men's lives are destroyed. Yes, no one would survive Rickles without freaking out today. He would make it work. Well, there was a time it didn't work. Foster Brooks was another great. Yeah, Slumber. Yeah, Foster Brooks. Is that I remember there was a time, maybe it was in the late 70s, when Don Rickles had to felt the need to preface saying, "I'm insulting you, but I don't really mean it." And it was an awkward time. Probably, Jim remembers this in America in the 1960s. So it can happen at any time. People were super sensitive about different ethnic groups. The only insult that gets me, says you, Jarrett, is if someone calls me stupid. I'm not stupid, but like everyone else, sometimes do stupid things. Well, are they meaning it in a bad way? You shouldn't call somebody stupid, but I know, you shouldn't call anybody stupid. This is the thing about comedy. Don't believe the man, don't believe the woman, believe the evidence. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And just because 20 women gang together and say that Rod Jeremy was bad to them, okay? I know people are thinking, "Oh, that's proof positive. That's proof positive." I love you, Lewis. Don't change. Thank you, Dee Dee. But just because 20 people go in a line, that doesn't mean it's real. Look at Donald Trump. He had 5 court cases against him. All not true. I believe that. Should I say that that's True. I disagree. Maybe I could be proven. I disagree with most things you say, and I don't take offense, but this is different. Shouldn't be hard to understand why. I'm just saying I don't believe the charges against Ron Jeremy. That's what I'm saying. This is not TV, so I can watch it. Cheers, Lewis. This is not TV, so I can watch it. Cheers, Lewis. Phil Scarides. I don't know what you mean by that. This is not TV, so I can't watch it or can watch it. Yeah, I disagree with most things you say, and I don't take offense. But this is different. Well, why is it different, Lucy? Would you explain to me why it's different? Foster's best roast is Hubert Humphrey. Foster Brooks was amazing. No, right, there's no license fee. I hope. Okay, that's why. Is Foster Brooks was a stutterer. So to basically cover up for his stuttering, he pretended he was drunk. He was drunk. It was better. It was funnier to be a drunk than to be a stutterer. Okay? Lewis, considering that this format is equivalent of doing a routine on stage and engaging the whole audience in conversations for hours on ends, I would suggest that you do it pretty well. Well, yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, well, I mean, you do it. You do something enough. I've done it for 30 years. I wasn't always that great, and I used to like in this show right now. This show, I don't even consider it a show. Is like I feel like I've hit a wall. I'm looking at the audience, and I'm thinking the audience hates me, and maybe it. And as Lucy says, she says she can't forgive me. Lucy, nobody truly knows about RJ, since we weren't on the jury. Yeah. But we have to say what these women said. You know, I could see how you might believe it, right? And I could see how lots of women have not been. So Slumber says, I agree with Lucy here. Be careful with that Andrew Tate psycho, Lewis. Yeah, be careful with him too. 31 days is going good. Well done to you, Lewis. Well, it might be the end of the line. I must agree with Lucy. Yeah. Sorry for and I've got into huge fights over Andrew Tate. I don't particularly like the guy, okay? But remember, there are certain and we have to realize there are certain things that affect women way more than men, and it really and it bothers women. So, yeah, okay, I agree about Andrew Tate. You poor soul, to Dee say. I've been listening in the background, Mark, and I have to say I laugh, I agree, and sometimes disagree. Even if I disagree with Lewis, I would still watch. I'd still enjoy and interact with everyone. Yeah, thank you. Some people grow, this is according to Mark, some people grow up with thick skin or be emotional and then create it out of seeing things they don't like. I can say hard things or see an underdog and feel it's unfair. People do back underdogs. Yeah. I think I know what you're saying. You know, we see men as not being underdogs. We see men as being, he's an art, whatever it is. But sometimes they are underdogs. Johnny Depp, I have to believe that. He seems so vulnerable. And when you learn about Johnny Depp's history, you think, this guy, he's had a bad life. Sometimes I have to agree to disagree, but with sensitivity on emotive subjects. Or maybe you've got to convince me. I remember, because I automatically take the person who's attacked, kind of. You know, and you can make a case why I'm wrong. I remember Rose telling me something about someone. RJ looks like an ultra unfit darts player circa 40 years ago. He looks horrible. Anyway, that's not why he's innocent, but he looks horrible. But he doesn't look innocent. He doesn't look like he's innocent. Rose, sorry. And she was telling me about a guy who was having sex with his wife's daughter. Okay? And I go, I like defending him a little bit. I'm saying, she goes, yeah, but he's a creep because that's the worst thing you can do to your wife. Would you do that, Lewis? And I go, no, I would not do that. You don't go into a friend of yours' house or your girlfriend's house and have fool around with their daughter, even if their daughter is of age, even if their daughter consents, whatever the reason is, even if they're not, she's not your daughter, you do not do that. This is what she said to me. I think this is what I'm saying to me. Okay? Right? And she was right. She was right. That's why that was really creepy. And maybe that makes him a creep. Makes him a bad person. Years ago, Rickles would have skewered everyone, and some would be offended, but would do it while laughing at the joke. Yeah, as a joke. Yeah, that's what Rickles was doing at that time. At that time. I mean, maybe that's my mistake. I take this seriously. And maybe I should just take it as a joke. And I forgot to take it as a joke, so I'm bad. I'm bad, yeah. I should have thought, that's why we have that's why we have a jury. We have a jury to evaluate this thing. Okay? Keep on drinking as not to get dehydrated. I keep forgetting. Thank you, Joe Earls. Let me get some water because I'm a bit dehydrated. Was I not joking? If you asked me, did I think you could have 20 people like what's his name, and say, were they all lying? Were they all lying? They don't think they're lying. Amber Heard maybe didn't think she was lying, but did he do the things that they all said he did? Yeah. Was I serious? I was thinking I'm thinking in a comedy frame. It's not so simple as, oh, he's kidding. I mean, Lucy, comedy isn't that way. Has anyone seen a duo called Italo Disco? They're all over my timeline. There are a couple of late middle-aged dudes. Okay, 1 hour and 30. Thank you very much, Simon. Yeah, was I serious? I didn't see the trial. Did you see the trial, Lucy? I didn't see the trial. That was Ron Jeremy. If it was one girl who said or a couple, but 21 people, I'm bad. You're channeling your inner Michael Jackson. Purge yourself, Lewis. Yeah. I back victims, but I don't like the witch hunts either. So you can't. How do you know who's a victim? Okay? Because I don't like the mob bullying. Just law. Let law do its job and not turn them into circus shows, I guess. Yeah, but how do you know they're a victim? I'm going to get some water. Wasn't RJ convicted by a jury? Well, so was Donald Trump. But, okay. I'm going to get some water. Let's find out if he was convicted by a jury. Ron Jeremy, you want to help look this up? He wasn't convicted by a jury. The adult film star, he was indicted. Let's see what it says. But now, he's in jail. Let's see what it says. Maybe I should look. I'll look under Wikipedia. I'm not defending Ron Jeremy. I just okay. Why do you think we need protecting? Just curious. Who are you asking? You probably should have moved on from this conversation. You know what? No. If people come back, if people listen to more of what I say and say, I think this guy's worse than I thought, then, Let him. I want to be liked for who I am or disliked for who I am. No, I don't have a filter. Let's see what the trial says. More than a dozen women in public accused Ron Jeremy of sexual assault. Several of the allegations relate to his appearances at fan conventions. Alleged he would grope and insert fingers into attendees without their consent. The organizer of the national conventions permanently banned Ron Jeremy, so he was bad with his hands. Okay, he did bad things. He did bad things. Due to the allegations, the Free Speech Coalition, an industry trade group, rescinded its Positive Image Award, which they presented towards him. Okay. Commenting regarding the allegations. I have viewed Ron Jeremy as the missing stare in the adult community. Okay. In 2020, he was charged with 4 counts of SA and R by the Los Angeles County District. Ron was accused of a 25-year-old woman in his home, at a home. He was also allegedly sexually assaulted 2 women aged 33 and 46 on separate occasions. Okay, at a bar. Accused. Okay. Okay, so, I mean, we have to read more of this. So there's lots of things. He's done lots of things, whatever those things are. His trial has been suspended. He was found by a judge to be mentally unfit, so he hasn't stood trial. So people are suing because Ron Jeremy. Oh, that's Ron Jeremy, the porno star. He got carried away. Very bad. Very bad. Very bad. Very, very bad. Okay, yes. Okay. All right, I'm going to get some water. Are you okay with that? And then I'll come back and we're going to start all fresh. I don't think he has been... Was Ron Jeremy convicted? I'm going to ask it here. Was Ron Jeremy, the porn star, convicted? I can't figure this out. Let me do this here. Was Ron Jeremy, the porn star, convicted? It's not coming up. The answer's not coming up. It's not coming up. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Hey, I'm Lewis Schaffer, the facilitator of the Lewis Schaffer Show. Thank you for being here. We go, oh, look who's here. Lud is here, and Jim Johnson is here, and Slumbird, and Steve Cuff. Everybody give everybody a round of applause. Water is too wet. Water is dehydrating. Phil Scorides is here. Andrew Graham, Joe. Everybody is here. We've got over... How many people do we have? Can somebody tell me how many people they have? This is the Lewis you love. This is the Lewis you love. I don't. You know what it is. The problem with me is he was found. Yeah, yeah. He has got really bad. Maybe God is. I would say maybe God is punishing him. Maybe God is punishing him. I just, are you sure he hasn't? Maybe he's lying about that. If somebody said to me, Lucy, he's got incurable neurocurative decline, I would say maybe he's faking it. If I said, I think Ron Jeremy is faking it, I'm not 100% sure, but I think he's faking. Are you telling me no, he's faking it? Yeah, he might be faking it. It's like with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. And I saw the film, and now I don't believe anything that I'm told, pretty much. You're telling me believe people. I don't believe people. I don't believe, hey, Kerry, hey, Leanne, hey, Lud. We got people here. We got over 40 people. But, maybe God is punishing him. Anyway, so what does the future bring for us? What is the future? What I don't even know. He ate too many carbs. He totally did. It's like all those people who are getting on my case now because I made that joke. Now you could say it wasn't a joke. I meant it as a joke. But, did you mean it as a joke? I meant it as a joke. And then when I heard it, I thought to myself, I'm not saying we should kill people. We should definitely stop giving out money we should let communities handle themselves. I could see how if you had a disability, you'd be really angry at me. Okay. So, but I think if you look at Ron Jeremy, why is he suffering from mental decline? Because because he's fat. And then you could say, well, Lewis, are you against fat people? Yes, I'm against fat because fat means you're going to have whatever you said he had, neurocognitive decline. Yeah. Is there any other decline except for cognitive, neurocognitive? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's why we need to not be like Ron Jeremy. I'm the oldest person here. I'm 68 years old, and I don't want to have decline. I could have had an episode of neurological decline today. This could have been something. The future might bring a colony on Mars. Maybe we'll all get out. Maybe most people survive bad times. I think we're in bad times right now. But that could be me. That could be me. I was thinking about that before the show. Before the show, I was thinking maybe I'm going to bring people down. Because I actually think it's the end of the world. But you don't want to hear that. You want to think that there's a future. Joe's fantastic. Hi, Carrie, Leanne, Lucy. Phil says hello. Am I hitting on you by mentioning their names? Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm thinking, if I go into decline, I'm thinking I'm in decline. I am in decline. Look, I forgot to say, maybe dinos ate too much carbs, not a meteor. Yeah, it could have been, or it could have been that the Earth had much lower gravity back then, so it wasn't the problem, and maybe had more water, so the dinos were able to float around, and there wasn't that much gravity, so they weren't quite as heavy. I had 20 stone yesterday. Yes, I was 19.5, but I knew if I stuck it, I could do it. Lud is making a joke. Is that a joke? Because Lewis Schaffer's serious about that. I'm serious about losing weight. If we need to lose weight. Let me drink some of the water. Here you go. Would love a colony on Mars. I mean, I saw the movie. No, I don't think we would. I don't think we would like a colony on Mars. We wouldn't want to live on Mars. The problem is that, like, you take a look what happened in this country. Bad time. Rainer looks like a velicopter. Veliciap, whatever it's called. Is that you look at what happened in this country when they burned down all the monasteries, the dissolution of the monasteries. Most people were not affected by this. Most people maybe they were the monk and they were living an incredible life, and then came the king and he burned down their monasteries. Okay. They survived. What about when the Normans invaded the country? Things were bad. Things were bad for a while, but who was really affected by the Normans? Most people became like Normans in 1066. They stopped whatever they were doing and they became like Normans and they learned French. Yeah, no, no, no. Basically, that's the issue. That's the issue. We have to realize, yes, that is the issue. I'm like flailing here. This is the worst show ever. This is the worst show ever. The worst show ever. I don't. My problem is, I don't believe things. The more people tell me, like on the show last night, they say, there's a conservative view and a labor view, and I go, no. Both of those people, throw them out. But people may not like it. People don't like it. People don't like it. They want your view to match their view a lot of times. A lot of times. We like you, but be nice. That's what and this comes from the women. Yeah, be nice. Be nice. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about today. Have you been following think about something bad? We can't talk about it. We can't talk about it. If he is mentally if he's bad, he's going to be bad forever. He's going to rot in prison and then die. So his life is over, I assume. Okay. They need bodyguards, security maybe, but people in that business. Anyone offended by a joke should pause and reflect on the occasions over the years when they have laughed at a joke at the expense of someone else's flaw and weakness. Yeah, unfortunately we don't think that. And all jokes are serious. Every single joke is an alternate reality that makes sense. So if somebody goes, ooh, that doesn't feel good, maybe there's a reason why it doesn't feel good. When is your comedy tour starting? The way it's going right now, not starting soon. It's not starting soon. Basically, at least he's in jail. He can't take care of himself. Probably, if his brain is gone, we don't know. We don't know what the story is. What do you think about Michael Jackson? Was he guilty? I saw the video, and I thought this guy's guilty. And now I think about it, and he's probably guilty. Yes, Lewis. Are you going to do a show somewhere? I'm going to do a show in your house, Kerry. Where do you live? Where do you live? I'll do a show at the pub down the corner. I'll meet you down at the corner. That's what we should do. This is my show right now. Once we get used to doing this without offending people, we'll remember this. Do you remember, Lewis, when you said that? I'll say, please don't mention it. Don't mention it. Yeah. Please don't mention it. Absolutely correct, Archie. Yeah. Is World War III? It seems closer than ever, Lewis. Yeah, we're in World War III. Yeah, the fighting hasn't started. It's like we're in World War III. Do you not think we're in World War III? Okay. I'm asking you. What do you think? What do you think, Simon Arnold? I think we're in World War III. 39 in the room. You hear? Or maybe people want to hear this kind of flailing. There's a division between people, between the people who are fighting for our local town, our village, our hamlet, our county, our region. Those Britain, people who are fighting for the state, okay? And then people who are fighting, like we're all alike, open borders. If you're against immigration, you're a racist. That's a big group. And then coming up from the south, or the Muslims. So that's, at least three groups. That's World War III. Do you agree with me on that? Djokovic survives match point. I'm not a big tennis fan. You know that about me, but I've heard good things about it. What is your take on how to prevent dehydration? Well, if you eat raw food, you will not get dehydrated, basically. The amount of water that humans drink is way too much. Do you believe in dehydration, Jim Johnson? If you eat carbs, sugary food, you're going to be dehydrated. Most of the other folks on GB News are ignorant or in denial about Team World stuff. They are easily famished about what you say. They don't understand it. I mean, how many times can I say it before people understand it? But maybe I'm not saying it properly. That's the thing. I'm not saying it properly. I'm not saying it properly. I don't know. How would you explain it? How would you explain it? I was an ugly kid growing up, says Lud, and here's a joke coming. When I was 12 years old, I went out to Michael Jackson's ranch. I had my own room. I had my own room. I had my own room. I don't see what the joke is. What is the joke? Is that the joke? Lud, is that the joke? I mean, we have to drink, but mostly we drink too much water. Maybe if the water had more salt and minerals in it, had magnesium. I'm up to 1,000 grams of magnesium on it. Laugh out loud. I had my own room. I had my own room. Oh. Because you were ugly. You know what? I take offense at that joke, Lud, because my kids are ugly. And you know what? I was ugly. You know what it's like to be ugly. You're not ugly. You can't make that joke. Yeah, because we assume he was guilty. And you want to know something? He seems like he's guilty, but, you know, you got to say we don't know. I used to believe he got there in the end. Yeah, I'm not the best comedian. I'm sorry, Lucy. That doesn't mean I'm not a comedian. It doesn't mean I wasn't trying to be funny or understand the joke. They are not ugly, my kids. No, they're not ugly. They're not ugly. So Lucy and Joodles leave, and you leave. Who is that? Who are you talking to? So that's the point I'm making. You know, is like you're trying. It's like when I've done stand-up comedy, there were so many times I would say something, and can I tell you, this is what stand-up comedy is. Hello, Lorna's here. Oh, God, Lewis. Michael used to sleep in a big bedroom with all the kids. Yeah. I would say that's wrong. Lewis, you're literally beating yourself up with something on your leg. Yeah, I'm beating myself up. Yeah. But the key to comedy is, I know a lot of people are always interested. How do you get into comedy? What are you doing into comedy? Because most people don't understand it. But the most important thing is learning stuff you cannot joke about. What stuff is off limits? What stuff you have to be super careful about? What stuff people in the audience have different views than other people in the audience? Hey, Lorna. Yeah, you've got to be very, very careful. The Sinner won. I thought he was kicked out yesterday. Is he the English guy? So I saw Michael Jackson in Liverpool. I saw them all. Ralph Harris, Gary Glitter. It's a joke, yeah. It's a joke, yeah. And some of the people, you know, I mean, Gary Glitter seems like a wrong'un. And, you know, and so does Ralph Harris. But you'd want somebody if you did something wrong, you'd want people to keep it, you know, an open mind. But then again, no, it's not a joke. I've seen them all live. Is that true? Yeah, this is before people judged, you know, before they were judged. Is Sinner not Italian? I don't know. I don't know if he's Italian. I don't know. So, what was I thinking about? Yeah, there are bad people in the world. But then again, yeah. Okay, the next point we're going to get at, have you heard? Yes, Sinner is Italian, but he's got like a kind of a Germany name, a Jewishy name. I don't know, Archie. Slumbert, I don't know. I mean, what I was thinking about today was about what's going on in America. Because the World War III, they're attacking the ICE, the Immigration and whatever, Naturalization Service, whatever those people are. True story, I saw Gary Glitter performing with a group called Girls School at a school music night. Yeah. Is that true? That's funny. I can't believe it, Mark. But I never saw Savile. Yeah. You got to remember, it was a different time back then. Not that things were allowed, but people weren't being watched as much as they are now. They weren't being watched. You're still here, Joe. Thanks. Please, no health stuff, films, music, memories, anything. You want to discuss films, music, memories. Yeah, memories are good. You get older, you want to discuss it. What kind of comedy is funny but not offensive in any way? None. Zero, right? Good point, Mark. It's hard to find any that can avoid all that. That's exactly right. Somebody's take offense at it. Two Jews walked into a bar. Could be considered offensive. What did you say? What did you say? Yeah, that's a bit shocking. Okay. Actually, Gary Glitter was one of the best concerts I ever went to. I went on a stag night. Yeah, he must have been amazing because he was he was a big star in the country at that time. Right before punk rock, but it was kind of like punk rock. It was, what do you call that kind of music? What is that kind of music called? What Gary Glitter was? What is it called? With the glam rock? Glam rock. Yeah, he was really good. He was really good. But people today are so, they just throw the guy out. Throw the guy out. Yeah, he did this to me. I had sex with him too. I had sex with her, whatever it is. It was called glam rock. I liked the Velvet Underground. They were kind of not really a glam rock, but sort of. Girls School were a dreadful band, and I was confused at the time. As how they got to support him. Yeah, now it's a bit suspicious. Did Ken Dodd ever offend anyone apart from Inland Revenue, that is? Well, yeah, you're making fun of the Inland Revenue. You're saying that that's offensive when that's putting people in starvation. The Inland Revenue needs money, and we should take it seriously. My favorite film is Paint Your Wagon. Lee Marvin being the drunk was hilarious. Well, he was also Me Too because he was with a girl for a couple of years, and he said, I don't want to be with you anymore. And then her feelings were hurt, and she sued him for everything. And they broke the law to give her money. They gave her like £110,000, because it's sad, really. She wasn't married to the guy. Does anybody know the story about Lee Marvin, who was an amazing actor? Yeah, he's such an incredible face. I saw him at the Royal Court in Liverpool, Ken Dodd. They have erased him from their archives, pretending never to perform there. Why? What did Ken Dodd do? I didn't hear anything about that. Aren't Oasis opening their gigs with the song that samples Gary Glitter? I don't know. I love Oasis. I love Paint Your Wagon too. I never saw that. It was like one of the last musicals ever made. Breaks his nose, Archie. Breaks his nose. Gary Glitter was erased. I could see Gary Glitter was erased, but was Ken Dodd. Oh no. Right, they're saying he wasn't there. Yeah. Yeah, that's going a bit too far. It's going a bit too far. But they've done it with other great people like Hitler. That's a joke. They say we don't want to see this guy anymore. Maybe it's right. He brought us bad memories. Gary Glitter was erased, says Kerry. Not Ken Dodd. Okay, I was afraid that Ken Dodd was erased. Yes, Oasis did reference Glitter and his work, and his work was in one of the Batman's films long after it came out. You look at these things. Someone's accused of. Have you seen on Twitter what they did with what's his name? The guy who just plays one instrument with the red hair, and he said he stole. Lewis, put your glasses on. I can't see it. I was born under a wandering star. Was that the song? I like Mel Brooks movies. Some really funny stuff, says Mark J. Yeah. But supposedly, Mel Brooks stole the concept for I don't want to say this because he's still living, but this is what they say. He stole the concept for the producers. What should we do? It's bad. But maybe not. Maybe we should give him, don't rule him out just because it says that. Basically. What do we do to hydrate? I tell you how I hydrate is we eat raw beef and eggs, and you don't need to have 1,000,000 glasses of water. We just have gotten so used to drinking salty, sugary, umami type food. What you're asking you, Jared, is it true? Every joke is followed by too soon. Yeah. It's like my favorite joke that I told is like, I don't even want to say it now. But too soon. You just say too soon. Was that too soon? Every comedian is judged by how soon they tell the first joke on a difficult subject. I told the first joke about so-and-so, that young girl's disappearance. Okay? And now I can't remember what the joke is. I told a joke about her disappearance. The day before I don't know, I don't even make this joke because you say you didn't mean it as a joke. That's what they're going to say. You didn't mean it. You didn't mean it. I like the producers. Who doesn't like the producers? Who didn't like Blazing Saddles? Yeah, it could be Lewis Too Soon. Could be the name of a show. That's a great show. Lewis Schaffer Too Soon. Lewis Schaffer Too Soon. Lewis Schaffer Too Soon. Not that a show needs a good name to sell. Phil is going to lie down. Don't say goodbye. Blazing Saddles is one of my favorite films. It was amazing. But they wanted to cut the farting scenes out because it offended somebody. It offended somebody. You know what? You people are some of my best fans, if I call you fans. And I offended you. That's what Lewis Schaffer is. He offends even his best fans. His best fans. I also love 12 Angry Men. No, I'll tell you why. Lee J. Cobb, great actor, the whole film. Yeah, he was the only right one. And he's like, maybe he's a Lewis Schaffer. The only film was filmed in one room. No car chases or explosions. No 30-minute fight scenes where nobody gets fired. Just well-written words. Lies. That film is all about, like, let's be nice to people. Here's an immigrant. Don't trust the police. That's what that film is about. I mean, it may be true. It may be true. But it was a time of really high immigration in America, in New York, 1950s. Mel Brooks films didn't stand the best test of time. You don't think the producers didn't? So you don't think? What are some other films that didn't stand the test of time? Jenny, Blazing Saddles. Did Blazing Saddles, did that stand the test of time? Richard Pryor wrote that. N-word and all. Yeah, Richard Pryor. They didn't want him in the movie because he was a bit too grungy. Probably because of maybe the pot smoking. Okay. But 12 Angry Men was a good film. But I look at these films now and I see the political import, how they're trying to convince you that mass immigration is good. That's what that film is about. Mass. It's like I used to love. What's the film? It's a Wonderful Life. Did you guys watch that here? And we watched it every year in America. The police would never lie. That's literally never happened. The police do lie. I don't believe the police, but I don't believe screenwriters either. And the police do lie. Of course they lie. What do you think? Do you think I'm a fan? But Lewis Schaffer questions everything, Lucy. Mel Brooks always had, Jenny 107, absolutely hilarious, wasn't it? And Mel Brooks always had a little camera part in each of his films, didn't he? No, that's Hitchcock. It was Mel Brooks in every one of his films. He was in Blazing Saddles. What are people talking about? Brooks stuff is funny today as when it was released. Do we have a woke infiltration here? No, you came in late, and I said something that some people took offense at. And I said, and I didn't mean for people to take offense at it, so I said I was sorry that people took offense at it. Not that telling you sorry can mean anything. Men in Tights. Dave Chappelle was in that. Robin Hood Men in Tights, says Alan Williams. 1941 for Spielberg was... I don't believe that. I think it's gotten such bad reviews, 1941. But people like Blazing Saddles. What is it about It's a Wonderful Life? It was my favorite film. I loved it. It was about stay in your hometown and help your family. It was kind of like Groundhog Day, which is my favorite film. But what was that about? What was It's a Wonderful Life about? It was saying that there are rich guys who are trying to take over all the businesses, and if we don't stop the rich guys from taking over all the businesses, we're going to have a desecrated town. And that's what the town became when they took over. You know, I cry thinking about it, but it's a bunch of crap. I like the bit where Mel Brooks is dressed as an Indian chief and speaks like a New York Jew. He says "Lasem Gaim," "Lasem Gaim" in Yiddish. Yeah, it's very funny. Okay, yeah. Mel Brooks was in the final scenes dressed up as a Nazi in uniform. Well, you can't do that anymore. You remember to like the stream. Yeah, like the stream if you can. If you can, please go to the mini feed and subscribe. Please forget we've ever had this discussion. You annoyed me yesterday also and moved past it. What did I say yesterday? You didn't listen to me. But hey, that's fine. Forgive it. You have a lot of people to engage with. That could be true, but it's also true, as some of the people here found out, that if you write something down, it may not register, right? You, Jared. So I apologize for that. Don't hate me personally. If you want me to read something, repeat it twice and say, and maybe get mad at me, like you're mad at me now. Was Mel Brooks pretending to be Prince Harry? In what film? Alan Williams laughs. Was it about a bank that lost everybody's money and had to be bailed out? Yeah, because the bank was like a lowly, small little savings and loan, and they trusted the guy to make a delivery. He didn't steal the money, but he was incompetent. So the big company comes in and says, "Hey, we'll take you over," and he goes, "I will not be taken over by you, because you're big and successful, and you know we believe in small businesses." Yes, too much wealth concentration in the hands of a few is bad, but stopping people from getting wealthy is even worse. I am just going to say hi to everybody, Lewis. Every message I post disappears from your screen. Why is that? You're the first. I don't see any of them. Make sure you press. Maybe you're pressing return. Chris King says, I hated watching a favorite comedy of mine slowly slink into oblivion. And incidentally, Robin Williams, two giants of comedy. Yeah, Robin Williams was amazing. Blazing Saddles actor Burton Gilliam used to be a Dallas, Texas firefighter. A few years ago, I saw him in a Dallas car dealer commercial in the same character. Yeah, that can happen, you know. At least he's not selling the cars on the lot. At least he's not fixing the cars. But even then, people go up and they go down. Lewis Schaffer goes up and goes down. The History of the World was also hilarious. I never saw that. Groundhog Day was great. Lewis Schaffer's favorite film. Jimmy Stewart film. It's a Wonderful Life. I don't think it's as great as it was. It was written after World War II. It was a little bit too late. Everybody wanted to make money back then. I got Christmas Scrooge vibes from that one, where he's shown his life just like Scrooge. Yeah, it was a Christmas film. Robin Williams was class. Yeah, great class. Hi, everybody. Let's say hello to Susan Stevenson. You have to give people the option. What, Leanne? What's the option? I don't know what that's in reference to. I think the airplane films were great as the police, and as was the Police Squad. Yeah, totally brilliant. Those are the Abraham, whatever they're called, the brothers there. They were really amazing. Is Crocs still missing in action? I assume so. You pushing my tolerance, Mark, says Leanne. Joe, your story. Kinsey, it was very sad about Robin Williams. He was a great guy, yeah. Why did he die? He died because he ate a vegan, vegetarian, super high carb diet, and he got brain damage from the carbs. This is what Lewis Schaffer believes in. If you're offended by me telling you should not be a vegan, you know, what can I do? What does 49 minus 1 mean? What does that mean? What's your thoughts on Naked Gun movies? Incredible. They were incredible movies. Leanne. Susan Stevenson. You are right. Every so often, the this is what nine. Every so often, the chat messages don't appear on the main screen. Yeah, why is that happening? Jenny says, where's Jenny? Jenny, you're not here enough. Jenny loved Naked Gun films. And Leslie Nielsen. He's somebody who was like an actor, just a plain super straight actor. And then he became so funny. I mean, not perfectly funny because, he brought a whoopee cushion onto talk shows. I mean, that's not brilliant, but yeah. Love Naked Hun films. Hun or Gun, Jenny. Hi, Susan, says Joe. How many acting roles have you had, and which was your favorite role? Well, these are films. They weren't quite acting. Go in the back and walk across and point. Utterly loved Leslie Nielsen. Yeah, he had a really bright sense of humor. Still great today, yeah. I don't know, how old could he be? 45 years. He could be 90 years old. So Chris King says, because most geniuses are on the edge of madness. Or is that just a generalization? Or maybe they are mad. It takes a certain kind of genius to focus on anything. Look at me. Look at how much time I'm focusing on the carb thing. It's like way too much. He's a Caucasian male, mustache, 6'5". That's an awfully big mustache, says Mark Thorosian. True Lies was hilarious too. I've never seen that, True Lies. I'll have to make a note of that. Leslie Nielsen was the first commander of the spaceship in the Forbidden Planet. What happened? That was on the internet. Robin Williams could please everyone, but sadly for us, he couldn't please himself. Yeah, because his mother maybe didn't love him. That's what it's all about. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, don't say that, Kinsey, please. Naked Gun remake with Liam Neeson. It's coming soon. Yeah, he's funny. Have you seen the pictures of, I don't even want to say it, but he pees on himself. Have you seen that? It's so funny. It's not just one picture. Thorosian Kerry. Kerry's pronouncing his name correctly. I saw Lewis in the Gladiator film in the audience. Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever seen it. He died. Who died 15 years ago? Lucy? Who's missing, Kinsey? Don't say that. I shouldn't read your thing. Laugh out loud. My mom's friends knows Liam Nielsen. His mom, great voice. Yeah, because he comes from Northern Ireland. Sorry, Lewis, it was a joke. All right, you're for Joodles. No, Joodles, whatever. I hope Joodles comes back. Doesn't take it personally. If not for me, for you guys, maybe she says I'll come on here, but I can't talk to Lewis. Whatever it is. Forbidden Planet was classic sci-fi, but it was rewritten off Shakespeare's The Tempest. Where's Joodles? I missed something. Okay. Ban all cinema. It's all propaganda. Just watch Lewis 24/7. Thank you very much. No. I agree, Rachel. Steve Martin in the 1990s was class. I used to look like Steve Martin. I had hair like Steve Martin. Yeah, thank you, Carrie. I looked like him. Leslie Nielsen's was amazing. Don't offend Lewis. Yeah, don't offend me. Is that what you're saying? But Steve Martin was great. He was a great comedian. I read his book. Well, you know that I read his book. Ruprecht, The Dirty Rotten Scandal. Okay. Lewis is the man, says Leanne. Leslie Nielsen is only slightly more famous than his brother, Dennis Nielsen. Do you know what? Yeah. I mean, I didn't know anything about the guy, and I read the book. He clogged up the pipes. He clogged up the pipes. That's how many people he was killing in the thing. I mean, can you make a joke about Dennis Nielsen? Is that anti-gay? All those people who died? I meant Leslie Nielsen died 15 years. No, he's still alive now. Is he dead? Is he dead? Can you please check that out? I'm going to check that out. Do you know Will Franken? Yes, I do. Both of you edgy Americans in the UK. If you guys get on, you should do it. I've done many gigs with the guy. I've done many gigs, and he got mad at me. He got mad at me. Neeson was in Derry Girls. The best comedy comes from straight actors. Yeah, could be. Could be. Joodles. I F the hate auto corrections. Yes, that's Chris King. Yeah, I hate it too. Is Liam Lewis? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it because then you'll tell him, but I think he's one of the funniest comedians ever. Does he still live in Britain? Who knows? Martin Short, Chevy Chase, and Steve Martin is in that one movie you don't applaud. Okay. All right. I think how many viewers do we still have here? Are we still talking about Dawn Neeson? Dawn Neeson actually is she's a vegetarian, a vegan, and she called me a cannibal because I ate animals. A cannibal. You know, am I supposed to hate her? I can't be in the same room. Like, you called me a cannibal. Will Franken is mad at everyone, even his toenails piss him off. Yeah, he's mad at everyone. He was mad at me, and I was his friend. I was on a TV show with him. If you Google a TV show, it was so unnecessary. He died in 2000. Martin Short, Chevy Chase, and Steve Martin in that one movie about amigos. Oh, wait. John Kerry, he was great. Him and Steve in Planes and Trains. Hobnob, he died in 2010. Okay. We should have an obituary section each time, like scores. I'm passing out. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Steve Martin, the man with two brains. I mean, I love Steve Martin in Pennies from Heaven. I've mentioned it on the program before. I love it. Okay, here's what we can do. What can we do? Should we go to the Discord and talk about this in the Discord? I think we need to do that. It's now 7:17. Can we talk about this? Love Steve Martin in Father of the Bride. Don't know. Like the Oscars. Yeah, he did the Oscars. He was like amazing. You should read his book. It's called Stand Up, Steve Martin. I don't know what it's called, Steve Martin. But like how he got started in stand up, and it's all true. It's all true. Lewis, you literally are passing out. You need a break. Do I need a break, or well, 2.5 hours is enough? What's the access code? Who knows what the access code is? Kinsey, do you need an access code? Didn't I post what the access code was yesterday? Archie, don't ask me. What is the access code? Can you put it up, Kinsey? Don't you know what that is? Share the Discord link again for the newbies. Okay, I'll share the Discord link. Discord. Open Discord. Would that be it? Open Discord. These are my channels. What does that mean, my channels? Add a friend shop. Okay, hold on a second. Okay. Okay. Do you want to try this? Try this, please. Malta Beer Festival. That sounds really good. It's too hot. It's too hot. I'll see you tomorrow at 5. Right? Is that a good time for tomorrow? Tomorrow at 5. We're going at 5. Tomorrow at 5. I give you a round of applause. Thank you very much for. Sorry. Thank you very much for not hating me. Thank you very much. I'm trying my best, and sometimes I'm not. I don't mean to hurt anybody. If I go, I think Michael Jackson's innocent. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. I don't think. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. There are people who think that Kate, whatever, Kate and Jerry McCann are innocent. I don't hate them. I don't hate them. Okay. But there you go. Is this us? Ta-ta, Lewis. You're doing great. Thank you very much, Andrew. Thank you, Kerry. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Mark. Steve Cuff. Thank you, Archie Klume. Deccom. Is that the right one? Is that the not right one, Defcom? Is that an invitation link? Lewis, you're looking a bit tired. We love you, but you need some rest. I'm handing off to I'm heading off. Everybody go outside. That's true. Looking good, Mr. Schaffer. Good night. Okay. Don't worry. We love you. And thank the director too. It was the wrong link. I got to try again. Where is the right link? Where is the right link? I don't know. I don't save these links. Where was it saved? I don't know. Do you know what we can do? Do you know what we can do? Thank you, Kerry. If somebody needs a link to enter the Discord, say, I need a link, and someone will send them a link. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what I'm doing here. Good night, all the beautiful ladies, all the handsome men. Thank you very much. Does anybody need a link? Kinsey, does Chris King need a link? Good luck. Stick with here on Twitter. Okay, we'll see you later. Everybody's gonna say goodbye. I'm saying end stream.
There we go.